Stitchy friends. Today is March 29th, 2025. My name is Rachel. I am mainly cross stitch on Instagram and pretty much everywhere else you could find me. I figured I would do Floss Tube #1 and do like introductions and show you kind of some of the things I've completed. And yeah, let's get started. So I'm from Maine. I was born in Lewiston, and I've pretty much been in Maine my entire life. My family and I moved to West Virginia for a couple years, but we ended up coming back. Sorry about that. I have dogs. I have 3 dogs. I'm crazy. And we have a cat too, but the mailman just came by to pick up something that I sent out this morning. So yeah, I'm from Maine, hence mainly cross stitch. I originally started stitching when I was like 10 or 11. I don't remember exactly when. My memories of my childhood are like super fuzzy at best. I just remember my mom, I think it was my mom, getting me a kit of like a cat chasing a mouse or something, and I ended up giving it to someone and I don't know where it is now, so I can't show you. Sorry. But I did do that when I was a kid and I loved it a lot. And my mom eventually got me a Dimensions Gold collection kit. It was like Winter Wonderland or something. I'll see if I can find it and pop a picture up here with Canva. It was like a bunch of deer in a snowy forest, and I started that, and it was a little bit too difficult for me at the time. I was like preteen, teenager. And I struggled with that a little bit. I ended up making a counting error and I checked it. It made me very upset. So anyway, those were the 2 projects that kind of introduced me to cross stitch. And then I didn't do anything for years. In the winter of 2023, I actually got back into it because my sister-in-law Royce, shout out to you Royce, you rock. You reminded me this amazing craft exists. Sorry, my dogs are walking by. And I ordered the kit by Dimensions called Outdoor Adventure. And I will pop a picture in here. I finished that. I gave it to my mom. And then I was like, oh my gosh, what else can I do? And then I discovered, excuse me, sorry, I'm battling a cold. I discovered that cross stitch has come a long way since, gosh, like 12 years ago. There are digital patterns. There's like, you can get a tablet and you can mark off stuff on your tablet. Like, you don't have to sit with paper anymore and be like, oh, where's this symbol all across the pattern? No, you don't have to do that anymore. So that first one that I did when I came back was a kit. So it came with a paper pattern and I did it. I didn't love it, but I did it. And then I will go back through and like figure out the chronology of the things I did. But I mean, for the purposes of this video, it's not super important. But I'll show you all the different things that I've finished since winter of 2023. I think it started like in February. So some other questions. Do you stitch anything else like embroidery, quilting, diamond painting? No, I don't. I've tried diamond painting back when I was having an ulnar nerve issue that was really painful. I tried diamond painting. It's not my favorite. I don't know what it is about it, but it doesn't have that same repetitive like dopamine hits, I think, as making those tiny little crosses. So yeah, really cross stitch is the only type of stitching I do. I've dabbled in like sewing. I've made my husband a couple of sweaters. But that's really it. I've made a couple of quilts. I have a problem with starting things and not finishing them. So there's like 3 quilts in a box somewhere that haven't been finished. Yeah, so that's that. What do I do when I'm not stitching? Nothing. All I do when I'm not stitching is hang out with my husband and stuff, maybe work on my website, but make needle minders. I do sell needle minders on my website and I'll leave a link below, but that's not what this video is about. All right, Stitchy style. What kinds of projects do you love? I love all projects. I love full coverage. I love samplers. I love little projects that you can do really quickly. I love a variety. So I think I may have a little bit of ADHD, not positive. I haven't been diagnosed yet. I have an evaluation coming up in February of 26. But I have a really hard time doing the same thing over and over again. So I like to like rotate stuff. So I like to have a large full coverage going at all times. And then I have, right now I'm working on a stitch along, and I'm gonna be adding another stitch along. So wait for a future video about that. But you'll see in the projects that I've completed that there's a good variety of stuff. I haven't completed a sampler yet, but that's because I just got into those. So yeah, Stitchy style. As I mentioned already, digital all the way. I struggle with paper patterns now. Okay, what is your favorite fabric to stitch on? Right now I'm in love with linen. I'm doing a sampler that I designed on 40 count linen, and I get my hand-dyed fabrics from my Vintage Needle Arts, and she is amazing. She's located in Florida, and she does like a dip dye, so everything comes out not marbled, you know, it's like pretty smooth, and the color is even across the whole piece of fabric. And her linen is gorgeous. I'll show you that in another video. I have my whip on that. I don't think any of the ones that I have as finishes were on her fabric, but you know, shameless plug. She's awesome. Hoops, Q-snaps, or frames? Okay, so Q-snaps, not a big fan. I know everybody's like crazy about Q-snaps, but they're so bulky, and I have tiny little petite person hands. Like I'm only 5'1", and my fingers are short and stubby. So Q-snaps are a problem. So right now I'm using hoops, just like your cheap run-of-the-mill get at the fabric store hoops. Here, my puppy wants to say hi. Bobo. Bobo. This is Bo. His full name is Bordeaux. He is a border collie from Low Main, BC's Richmond, I think, and he is just a sweet boy. He's like, Mama, what are you doing? You don't usually do this. Yes, you're a good boy. All right, go. Maybe Una can say hi too. Una, you want to say hi too? This is Una. We call her Una Bear. She is from Breezemore, Aussies, and I don't remember where. Ow. Ow. She's like 5 or 6. It was a while ago. And then Cooper is here in the background. He's a Shetland sheepdog, but he has like skin issues, and he's kind of gross, but we love him. He's like 8. Bo is 3. Bo's 3 now, and they're gonna play now because I'm making them excited. All right, guys, go lay down. Go lay down. Go. Okay, back to the cross stitch. You didn't come here for puppies, or if you did, maybe I can have more puppies featured. So yeah. Oh, scroll frames. I love scroll frames, but I have a stand for the scroll frames that was working for a while, and then it started causing my ulnar nerve issue. So I haven't been able to use the scroll frames now. I think eventually I want to get a Lowry. I think that would solve the problem because my frame, I couldn't get close enough and high enough to support my arm properly. I think that was probably the problem. But I got the scroll set and the frame for Christmas, so I didn't spend any money on it. I used it for a while. I'm thinking of paying it forward and sending that frame, not the scrolls, because the scrolls are fine for my purposes. I just need a different frame. I'm thinking about sending that frame to someone else who maybe has a different setup that would work better than it would for me. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I think it's Edmund's Stitch Master. I can find a link and pop it in the description below. But yeah, that's snaps frames. Q-snaps frames. Do you have a favorite designer or pattern company? That's a tough one because there are so many good ones out there. I really love Pigeon Coop Designs so much. His patterns are just adorable, and they're bite-sized, so if you need like a break from a big one, you can pull out. I have his book. I have his Cross Stitch in the Forest book. Oh my gosh, she really got me. Well, and I've done several of his, as you'll see. So I really like Pigeon Coop Designs. I also really, 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 really love Climbing Goat Designs. She does Sal's that I'm a huge fan of, and I've done some of her snowman pieces for my mother-in-law who loves snowmen. I would say those are probably my two favorites right now. I'm gonna be starting the Extraordinary Bird Sal, even though I probably don't need another Sal. None of us need more Sals, right? But we do them anyway, so here we are. From what I've seen of that pattern, I think I'm gonna absolutely love it. I ordered, again, from my Vintage Needle Arts, some fabric for that. Actually, you know what? No, I didn't order my fabric from her for that. I ordered 28 count even weave from Million of Stitches. And I'm gonna tea dye it. That's right. I was originally gonna get it from Teresa, but yeah, so that's what I'm using for that, but that's like for another video. Next question. Are you a one-at-a-time stitcher or a proud whip hoarder? Proud whip hoarder. Okay, so when I first started this hobby back up in 23, I was like, I'm only gonna do one at a time because my brain is gonna be like, you want all the things, but you need to finish some things before you buy more things. And while that sounds all well and good, you start watching Flosstube and you get enabled. So I'm here to enable you today by showing you all of the things I've completed, and in another video show you all the things I have hoarded. Show and tell, what's my current whip? That'll be for a different video. I will show that in my whip parade, which probably be the next one I do. I also want to do a pattern parade and show you all the different patterns I have. Next question. Do you have a favorite finish? Favorite finish. I'll show you that now. This frame's a little dusty, so I apologize, but so this is a record frame. I don't get my pieces professionally framed because that's expensive and we live in a crazy economy. This is Magical Rainbow Unicorn, I believe. There's so much glare. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. This is by Fruin Designs. He is on Etsy. I don't know if he has a website. This is stitched on 14 count black Aida, and there was like 89 colors, I think. I had to do some substituting because some of them were like, you know, those wacky 3800 blues. Yeah, and it's stunning. Like, this was so much fun to stitch. This was the first one I did on black Aida. Excuse me, sorry. And it was a struggle at first, but I got it done. And by the end of it, I was a pro. Pro tip, stitching on black, have something light colored underneath you. It doesn't have to be a light, but if you have like a white blanket or a white towel or something, you'll be able to see your fabric through the holes. You'll be able to find your holes a lot easier. I know a lot of people say do like LED strips in your hooper. That's too much work for me. I'm just gonna use some light fabric underneath, so that works. To grid that, I used a white marking pencil, like a chalk pencil that you would use for sewing garments. Okay, before we go through the rest of these questions, I think I'm just going to show you my finish pile. I don't remember what this is called. I will put the name of it in the description. I made this for my youngest daughter. I am a mom of 2 girls. My youngest is 4 currently. She'll be turning 5 this year. I made this for her. She was our rainbow baby. So I felt like this was quite appropriate. And it's adorable. So there's like a lot of black work in this one. Black work, backstitch. I guess the stars are black work if you want to be pedantic, and the rainbow is just adorable. I love that she's painting the rainbow. This was stitched on a 28 count even weave from somewhere. I don't know. This was just a frame I got. Yeah, at the same place. All right, next. This is stitched on just an 18 count white Aida. This was actually one of the first ones I did for someone that wasn't a child, I guess. I will again find the name of this and the pattern designer. I bought this on Etsy. I made this for my husband. It's framed kind of terribly, but he does not give two craps. He hangs it on his wall proudly. It's from Destiny 2. I don't know. I don't Destiny. I was told that these are not stars, they are ghosts. So there you go, there's a piece of Destiny lore. And this is a ghost too, apparently. And this is, I thought this was the moon. Nope, it's something called the Traveler. So we're all learning here together today. So yeah, I don't remember how many colors were in this. Oh, you can see my camera in the background. And this is just a cheap like document frame from Walmart. My framing is atrocious, as you can see. It gets the job done though. All right, here's some other finishes I have. Sorry, my kids are yelling at the dog because he wants attention from them. Bo, Bobo, lay in the bed. Bed. Nope, 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 that's not. All right, lay down. You can lay down over here. Down. Nope, down. All right, well, he's not laying down, but this is Eagle Ravine. I can't remember if this is A or B. Shoot. I don't know. This is A or B. I have both of them. Oh, that's backwards. So these are from Pigeon Coop Designs in his book, Cross Stitch in the Forest. I'll give you a close-up. There are fractional stitches in this, and it's absolutely amazing. I love fractional stitches. There's some string on there. Oops. Yeah. So this one's more like a bluey gray. This one's just a plain gray. But yeah, these are cute. They're in like little 4-inch hoops, and these were quick, I don't know, 2-3 day stitches for me. I stitch relatively quickly. That's those. Here's another one from Pigeon Coop. Let's just go on a Pigeon Coop design like smorgasbord. Gosh, what was this one called? Boreal something. I'll put the name in the description box. But this is another one from his book. All the ones I have are from his book. This one is done on a fiddler's cloth, which I don't love. And I'll explain why in a second, but you can see all the stitches. I'm covering it up here. I love his use of negative space. Okay, fantastic. Negative space, negative space, negative space. It just makes the design pop so much more and gives it so much dimension. Love it. Fiddler's cloth. Oh, man. Okay, so it's really loose when you first start using it. At least the stuff I got was. I think it was DMC fiddler's cloth. But like, it's such an open weave. And then when you go to wash it, it shrinks like crazy. Like nobody's business. I stretched this tight in the hoop after washing it, and it's like very loose. So it was tight after it dried. I stretched it in the hoop, and now it's loose. So just keep that in mind if you use the DMC fiddler's cloth, because it's kind of wacky Jackie. Sorry if your name's Jackie. All right, so next one, Pigeon Coop Designs. I don't remember what this one's called. This one was a fun quick stitch. It didn't take me that long. It's actually on my Instagram. Actually, a lot of these are on my Instagram. Just if you scroll through, you'll see like me working on them. I did some reels for like finishing them, and I did like a slideshow of the different progress pictures. So if you're interested in that, you can scroll back and find them. Yeah, this one's really cute. Quick. It's on 28 count, pre-gridded Zweigart even weave. This one's called Trees Company. I remember that one. This was the first Pigeon Coop Designs one I did.
Mom,
What?
can I turn this light on?
Yeah, sure. It's in all greens, and it is just so cute. Guys, we're not playing out here right now, okay? It's too loud. I'm trying to do a video, okay? Can you go play in the bedroom? Trees Company. Look at the little rabbit. I love him so much. What is this on? This is on 25 count. White even weave. And I did 2 strands over 2 strands of the fabric. So the stitches are a little bit bigger than like a 14 count, but not quite 11 count. But honestly, I love how this turned out. Like, the stitches are so puffy and beautiful. I'm just a huge fan. I haven't framed this yet because I struggle with finishing things. But it's done. Just needs a frame, as you'll see with a lot of these. Okay, Duck Pond, also by Pigeon Coop Designs. This one is on like a natural even weave 25 count as well. I went on a kick where I was using 25 count Lugana, stitching over 2 fabric threads because I loved the look of it. So this is Duck Pond. That mallard is just so beautiful. I love him. And again, his use of negative space, Max's use of negative space is just amazing. And like the intricate design in the sun. Love it. Also from his book. All these ones I'm showing you are from his book. All right, next. This one was called The Mighty Oak. And this is stitched on a linen Ada in like a natural color. There's some back stitching in this one as well. But like the colors in this are so pretty. I stitched this one in the autumn because, you know, Maine autumn. Yeah, I love that one. I haven't framed that one yet either, clearly. All right, the last one I own and I have in my house is this. Actually, there's 2 more. I have to go get the other one. This one is called Woodpecker at Work, and this is done on a DMC 14 count Ada called Seafoam, I think. I asked for this for my birthday, and my mom was so sweet, and she got it for me. I did this as part of the Flew the Coop Sal, where people picked a Pigeon Coop design bird and stitched it. So this is Woodpecker at Work. And he is just so handsome. Look at his little crest. I actually changed the colors in his crest because I didn't have the right ones, but I think it worked out okay. And yeah, the birch tree is just so cute. That's him, Woodpecker at Work. Still need to frame him. And let me pause. I'll go get my very last finish, and show you that, and then we'll move on. Okay, last one that I have in my house that I finished. I didn't save this one for last on purpose, I swear. Is it backwards? Have all of these been backwards? Okay, I'll see if I can flip it. That way it's not backwards for you. But this is a cute little dumpster fire that I stitched around the 20th of January. It says, "This is so not fine." And I just did like extra back stitching because I don't think the pattern called for any of this back stitching, but I really wanted it to stand out. So yeah, that's that one. And that is all of the ones that I have in my home. I will insert a bunch of pictures right here. Ready, set, go. And you're back. Those are all finishes that I have gifted to people and they no longer reside with me. Sorry, my daughter had a question for me. I can already tell that filming with kids is going to be fun. So I apologize for all like the jump cuts. I am 30. I have 2 children, and it makes life so much fun and interesting, and I love them. All right, let's move on to the next questions. Let's see, where were we? What's your dream project you haven't started yet? Ahead. I just wonder whether or not I would be able to stick to it. I have a hard time with that. The largest one I've done is, and completed, was like 60,000 stitches. That was the unicorn, because all that black background was stitched. I have one in progress, which I'll show you in the whip parade. That's like 98,000. I'm doing half stitches, but it's sleeping right now because I just got burnt out with it, and I'm sure you can all identify. Yeah, so that's dream project ahead, but could I finish it realistically? I don't know. I own several patterns. I haven't kitted any of them because they're expensive to kit. Do I have a favorite finish or proudest Stitchy moment? Did we already do that? I think we already did that. My proudest finish was the unicorn. Do you have a rotation? I've tried rotations. They don't work for my brain. I have to pick up what I want to stitch when I want to stitch it, and I have just resigned to that fact. Right now I have far too many whips, probably according to my husband, but I have something for every mood. Come at me, you know? You guys get it. Favorite stitching snack or drink? Coffee. Always coffee. I don't eat while I'm stitching because mess. Do you watch Flosstube or listen to podcasts? Back when I was DMing a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, I was listening to DM podcasts, but I haven't done that in a while. As for Flosstube, I love Flosstube, hence why I'm here. I will list off my faves, and I will add them in the description. The Runner Stitcher, he's awesome. He does so many cool whips, and his finishes are amazing. And he has a rotation, he does whip go, and I'm like, I don't know how you do it. I can't stick with anything to save my bacon. But you are an inspiration for me to be better, so thank you. Frizzy Lizzie Stitches, she's also amazing. I'm gonna say that about everybody in this list. She has a Notion template kit thing, so you can go and download a copy of like her base Notion setup where you can excuse me, you can track your projects, so you can track how many stitches you do, you can insert like your progress pictures, and you can keep track of all of your projects, even if they're paper patterns. You just have to count the stitches, obviously. You can keep track of your DMC inventory, your fancy floss inventory, your patterns you haven't started yet, your kitted stuff, your finished stuff. Is amazing. She is also amazing. I love the vibe on her channel. She does great stitchy stuff, so check her out. You probably already know about her, but plug. The next one on my list is Vera's Stitching Corner. She's also amazing, and she has an Etsy shop, and her hand-dyed stuff is so pretty. And she has, I think she has a new pattern up of the Great Lakes, which if I lived near them, I'd probably stitch them. So if you live near the Great Lakes, you should find it and stitch it because it's beautiful. She does a lot of hades. She has a supersized max color hade, which is nuts. I could never. So props to you, Vera, because your stitching is amazing. I love seeing all your finishes. She also has a border collie, like we do. And her border collie is so cute. Yeah, so that's Vera. The next one is a random stitcher. She's from Denmark. Oh, Vera is from Canada. So That's where she's from. I think the other two are from the US. A random stitcher, she is from Denmark, and I love her channel because she has a lot of whips like me, and I love getting ideas from her on like how to manage so many whips. But I feel like she also struggles with that like me, so shout out to you. I understand. I don't have as many as you do, but it's slowly accumulating and I'm starting to feel it. So shout out to you. I love your channel. I watch every one that comes out. Next one, Stewart's and Stitches. He is also awesome. He is from Scotland? I don't remember. I would have to look. But he does a lot of haids. He also has a ton of whips and rotates through them. And he has a cabinet of mystery, and he pulls out Stitchy bags, and it's like, what's in the bag? We don't know. And he pulls it out, and it's a lot of fun. And his project bags, he gets them from like shops on Etsy, and he's made some, I think, and they're gorgeous. So if you want to watch his channel, you definitely should, and subscribe. Okay, so on my Instagram post I made recently, I was like, hey, I want to do this thing, but I'm not sure. So people were very encouraging, and I just wanted to give them a shout out. Steph.xstitch, Steph Cross Stitch, she was super nice. She's like, yeah, go for it. And so was Aslan's Cub. She's main girl in AZ, so Arizona, main girl in Arizona. She also has a Floss Tube. So someone else from Maine. Super exciting. And then there's also someone I wanted to shout out, Cross Stitch with Bex. She and I are doing the antique sampler together. And she hasn't gotten her fabric yet, but I'm super excited to see when she starts it because she's doing a color conversion with purples. I'm stoked. Okay, that is the Floss Tube and people I wanted to mention. What is your go-to time of day to stitch? Anytime, really. I work from home. I'm a freelance writer, editor, website design, kind of. I built my website. And I run my cross-stitch business on the side too. So really any time of day that I'm not helping the kids or cleaning the house or hanging out with my husband is stitching time. I'm lucky and I'm able to stitch kind of whenever, and that's why I've been able to finish so many things. So do I collect needle binders? Yes. Should I? No. But I do. My first needle binder was one from Amazon, and it says, well, shit. Yeah, it's great. I'll see if I can pop a picture in. And then that just kind of fueled my obsession. I have tons. I also sell them. I make them from like pins and do hits and stuff. I just recently released a wooden cutout set for like the main things. There's the state of Maine, there's a pine tree, there's a pine cone, and there's a moose. So they're cute. I like making them. It's fun. People sometimes buy them and I go, yay! So thank you for everybody who's supported my new little small business with needle minders and patterns and stuff. Do I have a favorite needle minder right now? Not really. I like to pull them off the fridge, the ones that I'm selling, and just use one. And kind of do a shameless plug on Instagram just to show them off a little bit. So that's fun. Do I name my projects or whips? No. Are you a Stitch from Stash superstar or a haul-loving goblin? ChatGPT wrote these questions for me, as you can clearly tell. Yeah, no, I hoard things and start them, and I try to put a lot in on a project before I kind of tuck it away for a little bit. But we all know how that goes. Do they come back out? I don't know. They'll come back out eventually. Do I have stitchy goals for this year? No. I started with stitchy goals. I actually have it pinned on my Facebook page. And then, you know, life happened and new starts happened, and then I was like, well, these goals don't look as fun as they were at the beginning of January. What's one quirky, stitchy habit you have? I'm a floss licker. Come at me. What else? I can't think of anything else quirky right now. Yeah, if I think of something, I'll update you in the next one, but yeah, so wrap up. I hope you enjoyed my mess of a first floss tube. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. What can viewers expect from your Flosstube channel? I have no idea. Whatever happens, happens. That's how I roll. I'll tell you my goals, but don't expect me to stick to them. My goal would be to do a Flosstube once a week. I know I want to do the first 4, this one. The next one would be a whip parade. The next one would be pattern stash. And then number 4 would probably be organization, how I organize my floss, which isn't really much different than anybody else, but I figured I'd show you anyway. What I'd love to do weekly updates and show you what I stitch every week and maybe what I sell. But I don't know how I'll be able to stick to that. I'm just gonna say that up front. Where else can people find you? My website is mainlyxstitch.com. I will put the URL right here. That's my website. I have my Instagram set to auto load into my blog page. So if you want to look at the blog and, I don't know, get a link to Instagram, it's there. But my Instagram handle is mainly_xstitch. I'm also that on Threads. I have a Facebook page, but I don't really use it for my business. I have a Blue Sky. I don't really use it. I have a Tumblr. I don't really use it. Obviously, you're on my YouTube channel right now, so you know where that is. Oh, Etsy. I have an Etsy shop. Also, mainly_xstitch for cross stitch. I don't post all of my stuff that I have for sale on that, just because it's a pain in the patootie. I do list everything on my website though. I don't get charged per listing on my website, so yeah, that's those 2 things. I already did the shout outs. Yeah, that's it. That's all my stuff. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I wasn't super annoying. I love all of you, everyone who got a shout out. I watch you constantly and I appreciate your art, which really is art, and you have inspired me to do many a whip. So thank you. Bye.